There's one more way to import assets into Premiere Pro, and that is to use the Media Browser. Not only is it a way to import assets, but you can also preview assets in the Media Browser, which makes it a really clever little feature. So to see how it works, let's open up Premiere Pro and start a new project. I think you know the routine by now. Click on New Project, browse to the desktop, go to the My Premiere Pro Exercise Files folder, and select that folder and give your project a name. It's tempting to call this Media Browser, but then the Project Panel tab will be called Media Browser, as will the Media Browser tab. So I would just suggest calling this Importing Media, just to avoid having that little confusion. Click OK, skip the Sequence dialog box, and go to Premiere Pro. Here we are inside Premiere Pro with the Project Panel front and center. Change over to the Media Browser panel. What I want you to do is navigate to the Working Files folder. All right, we're in the Working Files folder here, and I'm going to click on Bike Writing to open that up. And once I do that, inside the thumbnail view here, I begin to see these thumbnails. Now it's called thumbnail view here, and over in the project panel, it's called icon view. I think they're both either icon views or both thumbnail views. Kind of split personality here, so we'll just call it a thumbnail view over here. What's cool about the thumbnail view is if you put your mouse cursor over it, just place it over it without actually holding down your mouse button, it becomes this thing called a hover scrub. You move it to the left, it goes to the beginning of the clip, go to the middle, it goes to the center of the clip, go to the end, it goes to the end of the clip. Wherever you put it, that's the place in the clip where you're going to be seeing that portion of the clip. Not actually playing it, I'm just going to that place in the clip. Wherever I put my mouse cursor here, relatively speaking, is where I am inside that clip, which is really a cool way to preview things. You can also scrub through it by just clicking on it. That opens up this scrubber. You can slide it left and right. When I put my mouse away, it gets smaller, as you can see, but I get in there, it gets bigger, which is pretty cool. But now I can't hover scrub with that guy active, so I'll just click away to make the hover scrub active again. So I scroll down here, you can see there are other ones. If I hover over them, then it hover scrubs as well, just like so. And if you like what you see, you can simply right-click and say Import. And that'll bring that file into your project panel, creating a link to it right there, Bike Writing number 2. But there are other features inside the Media Browser. Let me go back there. We'll scroll on down, let's say, to number 3 here. Look at that one for a second. And let's say, I'd rather get a bigger view of this than the small view. Well, I can expand the view down here with this little 2-mountain thing here. But because of how my workspace is laid out, it's not going to help much because it's already full screen. But I can't expand the whole view of the Media Browser by just opening up like this, for example, and opening up like so. And now these guys can get larger like that. So that might be a way to go. Like that. I'll hover scrub here and take a look at it. Okay. But I'd actually rather look at it inside my source monitor. So if I just double click here, it'll bring it into the source monitor, which is actually a better preview than this is. Or if I right click and say open in source monitor, I can do the same thing. So I'll just double click here to bring it into the source monitor. There you go, now it shows up here in the source monitor, so I need to expand its view a little bit going down here like that. Now I haven't actually imported it. By double clicking on it, I haven't imported it. It's still not showing up over here. This is number 3, and number 3 is not showing up over here. But if I go through here and kind of go, I just scrub through here, I'm thinking, okay, this looks good, and this is where I want to have my endpoint, so I click that as an endpoint, but I still haven't imported it. Keep in mind, I'm just kind of taking a look at it here. I'm going, okay, this would be where my out point is, and I click that. Okay, and now, if I open up the project panel right here, just drag it down to the project panel, I've imported it, and I've also imported it with those in and out points already preset. So let's say I create a new sequence, I drag this over to this button to create a new sequence, and that guy will show up here with those in and out points already set. Pretty cool. There are a couple more ways to import assets using the Media Browser. Let me just expand the view here a little bit so you can get a better look at the browser again. Let's go on down here a little bit farther. Let's say to this number 6 here, for example. We can hover scrub through that, get a little point of view shot here or there. Now I've already shown you can right click to import, and I've shown you how you can open up on the source monitor. Let me show you, just add it to the project. I'll just add it to the sequence. I'll just drag it over here and boom, it's in the sequence now. And I go over to the project panel, number 6 has been added. A very slick way of doing things. And if I go back to the browser again, let's just get a different one here, number 5, for example, another point of view shot. I'm going to open up that one inside the source panel. There it is, or the source monitor. I'm going to drag that down to the project panel. So you need to open the project panel. If I go like this to the project panel, that too is a way to import things. So several ways to use the Media Browser to preview and import. So it's kind of a central clearinghouse for media. You can preview using the hover scrub. You can scrub through. You can use the J, K, and L shortcut keys to go through, and there's several ways to import it as well. You can drag it over to the sequence, you can pop it into the source monitor, and then drag it to the project panel from there, or simply right-click and say import. It's a great little tool.